All right, it's your boy Fanon. Welcome back to the channel. Teofimo Lopez absolutely goes off and clowns on Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. Says that Vasily Lomachenko beat them both, but what he actually had to say about them, it's must-hear type of stuff. Stay tuned to listen in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. So we are going to talk about the lightweight division, specifically Teofimo Lopez, who was the WBA champion, the WBC franchise champion, IBF champion, WBO champion, and what he had to say in a recent interview that was on Fight Hype about Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney. Also mentioned Shakur Stevenson, but pretty much holds most of his, just very dramatic talk about Gervonta Davis. He keeps it to Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney primarily. First things first, man. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and also make sure you come by the live streams that we do every Monday, pretty much Monday through Monday at 8 a.m. on our channel right here. What can I say, man? Teofimo Lopez does a whole lot of talking, and I find it funny almost every time. He mixes, in this particular thing, he mixes a little bit of truth in there. Like some things I agree with him on, or I understand his observations. But in totality, though, it's like, man, what are you saying all this for? Dude, you are dang near just as guilty as everything you're saying as the guys that you're putting it on. So let's first start with Devin Haney, who pretty much he says that he doesn't have confidence. He doesn't have courage. His word he uses is confidence, but the way he described it was a coward. He basically says, look, man, this guy was fighting Jorge Linares, and he got knocked out by, almost got knocked out by Jorge Linares. What do you think I'm going to do to you? But then he questions Devin Haney's heart and says, look, man, you're getting booed in front of your own hometown. You have, when you get hit like that in a fight, and you get hurt, you get buzzed. It's about what you going to do when you get hurt. Are you going to try to, outbox somebody? I can't remember what he said. I think he said do a TikTok dance or something like that. Man, dude's a fool. He said, are you going to do a TikTok dance and bounce around and all this other stuff? Or are you going to bite down on your mouthpiece and try to go get the guy, right? So, obviously he's referring to when in the 12th round, I think it was the 12th round of the Jorge Linares Devin Haney fight, where he came out after being hurt the previous round and just pretty much just tried to jump and tried to grab Jorge Linares and hold because he seemed like he was still hurting. But he was like, if you're real, if you were really about it and really a champion, you would have bit down, you would have gone at him, you would have sat there and you would have fought with him, right? So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's a pretty good point. I can understand why Teofimo Lopez would say that, why he would say, because I think that's true. In a fight, these fighters are all at a certain point in time have to, if they get hurt, have got to, bear down and fight. Like, you're not going to be able to, slick and outbox yourself, to consistently at that level of fight. Floyd Mayweather, most of the fighters that are typically thought of as being kind of slick fighters that were very, very successful had that grit to them and would sit down there and fight with you. It's very, very rare that anybody has the defensive skills that is just going to allow them to escape danger all of the time. Pretty much the only guy that I can think of that got away with that, to any really, really large extent was Pernell Whitaker, just because of how much talent Pernell Whitaker got. But it's, Devin Haney, and I think Devin Haney is a good fighter, but if he was a Pernell Whitaker, we'd already know that by now. Pernell Whitaker is just one of them really, really special fighters. You can see from the jump what that dude was about. But at the same time, Teofimo, real champions fight guys in their weight class, in their sanctioning body that says that they're a champion. I know that that is true too. So it's going to be kind of tough for me to take Teofimo Lopez too seriously about, saying, what do you think I would do to Devin Haney? When Devin Haney is right there saying, look, man, do it to me then. You know what I'm saying? Give me the fight, do it to me. And that is not what Teofimo Lopez is doing. Teofimo Lopez is saying that he's going to fight George Kambosos, and then he's going to go move up to 140 pounds. But the thing that really got me, where I'm like, look, man, Teofimo, man, what are you talking about? Was when he talked about Gervonta Tank Davis. And he actually tried to, what do you call him, like young blood or something like that, he called him, where it's like he was just talking down to Gervonta Davis like Gervonta Davis was a kid, right? Saying, look, man, you can't say the things that you're saying at press conference, like when he went off on, because I ain't gonna lie, Gervonta Davis got a little hoodlum. He's definitely got a little hoodlum in him for sure. And he does say things like, man, if this was in boxing, if this was the streets, what they would do in the streets or whatever. And I know that there's that aspect to Gervonta Davis and all that. However, man, to say that that's what Gervonta Davis is doing wrong with his career, and as if, and he said something effective, that's why he doesn't get sponsorships. Like, man, you don't make nearly the money that Gervonta Davis does, man. So I don't get what you're talking about, man. And on top of it, he makes more money fighting. Gervonta Davis makes more money, probably made more money in one fight than Teofimo Lopez is going to make in the entire year. And he's fought 3 times. So as far as sponsorships and all of that, man, just, how about you just fight these guys and don't spend your time preaching at him about stuff like that? Because on the real, until he proves that he can beat those guys, so what? Because he then goes on to talk about how Vasily Lomachenko can beat all of those guys, right? Vasily Lomachenko can beat Devin Haney. He can beat Gervonta Davis. He even brought Shakur Stevenson into it, who's not even a weight class, and said, yeah, that he's got enough to beat Shakur Stevenson too. Well, here's my thing with that. If that is true, if it is true that Lomachenko can beat all those guys, why don't you give Lomachenko a rematch? Why don't you give, or if Lomachenko can beat all those guys, how about you fight a couple of them and you beat them too? Because styles make fights, and just because Lomachenko, even if it was the case that Lomachenko could beat him, which honestly, man, I think Lomachenko got a shot against all of them. But I will say that if Teofimo can beat Lomachenko, I don't see why Gervonta Davis couldn't beat Lomachenko. He's got everything and more than Teofimo Lopez does. But, putting that off on Lomachenko and saying that Lomachenko will beat these guys, even though he's on his way out, that just makes me think, man, look, well, if you're the undisputed champion, and honestly, man, that's also what a champion is about defending your belts, right? If you don't defend your belts, how much of a champion are you? And Teofimo Lopez has those belts, but Teofimo Lopez hasn't defended those belts yet. And if he beats George Kambosos and then moves out of the division, he would have never defended those belts against any legitimate competition, man. So, Teofimo Lopez, and I always gotta give a caveat here. Teofimo Lopez is a very, very solid fighter, man, who definitely has a shot at beating anybody at lightweight. I do believe that dude is the real deal in the ring. But outside the ring, I just can't help but think, cornball. Just, like, man, just stop preaching to Devin Haney and fight him, okay? If you think you can beat Devin Haney and he's all that easy money or whatever, and he doesn't have courage and all of that stuff, fight him. Because I'm quite sure Devin Haney you can make 140 one more time to get that dude that fight. As far as Gervonta Davis, man, giving Gervonta Davis business lessons, you might want to catch up to Gervonta Davis in the realm of business before you start talking, because unless Gervonta Davis got dropped by Under Armour, he actually has a sponsorship with Under Armour. But anyway, and as far as those guys beating Lomachenko, I hope to see the fights. Honestly, Lomachenko don't seem like he's going anywhere, so we might actually get a chance to see whether or not he can beat these guys. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know. That's what I think. You let me know what you think in the comment section. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, share the videos, all that good stuff. And with that, I'm out. Peace.